Hello and welcome back. It's Hector Jenkins again with Python for Beginners, episode 3, and we'll be taking a brief look at numbers in Python. Here are our objectives, and if we go into our trusty terminal, we can get started. Now, two main types of numbers that we'll be dealing with. We have whole numbers, let's call them integers, and these include whole positive numbers such as 6, whole negative numbers such as negative 12, and they also include 0. I better actually go into the Python terminal. So negative whole numbers 0 and positive whole numbers are all integers. Now any number with a decimal point we can call a floating point number. So 2.6 is an example there. Right, there is a third type of number known as a complex number, and that has both a real and an imaginary component. Now, as you might think, just listening to that, it's a lot more complicated, so we may come back to that in episode 206. In the meantime, let's just cover basic arithmetic. So we have addition with the plus sign. We have subtraction with the minus sign. We have multiplication, which is done with the asterisk. And we have division. Now there is a wrinkle when it comes to division. Now we use forward slash for division. Now, you don't need to be Rachel Vorderman to know that 10 divided by 5 is 2. When we do this type of division, we will always get a floating point result. So we get 2.0. Doesn't matter if the result is a whole number or would include a floating point element. Now, you can obtain... I should just demonstrate, obviously if you do something that doesn't evenly divide, you will get the floating point component. Now you can get an integer result if you do double forward slash. So 10 double forward slash 2 will give us 5. Bear in mind that any remainder will be discarded. So 16 goes into 31 whole time, and the remaining 14 just disappears into the ether. Right, so that's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now you want to be aware of order of operations, which you may have come across in maths class. So if we have something like this, Python is going to do the 6 times 5 first, to get 30, and then add on the 8 to get 38. So multiplication and division will be done before addition and subtraction. Okay. Now you can use parentheses if you want the 8 plus 6 to be calculated first. So that would be 14, and then times 5 would be 70. Yeah, 70. So bear in mind the order of operations. Okay, so we now are left with our final objective here, which is to briefly, we won't get into the weeds on either of these at the moment, but we'll mention how to use exponentiation and modulo. Now, exponentiation, which is a word I do enjoy saying, is just a fancy way of talking about raising a number to the power of another number, and we use the double asterisk. So if we have 2 to the power of 3, we get 8. If we have 4 to the power of 5, we get 1024. And if we have 15 to the power of 19, we get, whoa. Now these numbers can get really big, really fast, and I suppose we're taking it on trust that that is indeed correct. Of course it is. Right, now modulo is something you may have never seen before, particularly if you are new to programming. You may also hear it called modulus. In layman's terms, it gives the remainder of a division. So if we have an example here of 19 and then mod, we use the percentage sign, we say 19 mod 5. Now 5 goes into 19 3 times, that's 5 times 3 is 15, and we have 4 left over, so 19 mod 5 is 4. Now the most likely scenario where you'll use this, well, probably would be to check if a number is even or odd, or certainly if a number is evenly divisible by another number. But to use the example of checking whether a number is even or odd, anything mod 2 is going to be either 0 or 1. Now, in this case we get 1. I mean, you probably know that you just look at the last digit and tell whether that's even or odd, but that is an example of the modulus operator. Okay, so I think we can safely strike 1, strike 2 and strike 3. We're just scratching the surface with numbers in this video. We will have a lot more to say about them in future lessons. So that wraps up this episode. I'd appreciate it if you told your friends and your enemies about my videos, and it would mean a huge amount to me if you were able to tune in for episode 4, where I hope to be talking about variables. Thank you very much.